Guys, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, as promised, I'm going to be doing the hooded eye makeup. This probably won't be a particularly long video, but I'm going to hopefully give some tips on how to kind of emphasize your eyes and give the illusion of kind of less hooded eyes. So kind of with eye correction in terms of shape, it's very similar to contouring. So any kind of dark shades will act as shadows, so kind of make things look more sunken in. There's any like lighter shades, highlighting shades, will bring things forward. So with hooded eyes, typically obviously it's this top area that's kind of slightly covering the lid, or very kind of almost fully covering the lid, and it's that bit you kind of want to make look kind of more sunken back and almost give the illusion that you've got some form of crease. So usually with hooded eyes, the crease is kind of hidden. So you want to give the illusion that you've got a crease, and then any lid space you do have, you want to add those kind of more highlighting shades or lighter shades to kind of make it look, kind of emphasize that and make it look like you have more of a lid than you do. So it's kind of like the same technique, with contouring. So adding dark colours to add the shadows, and then adding the light colours to kind of bring things forward. So as you can see, I've already prepped my eyes. I do have some mascara on, but that's because I've been at work today, so it's from the day, so apologies for that. So for the one where I'm kind of going to talk through it, I'm going to use neutral shades, but you can apply this for colourful eye looks as well. So if you're someone who does like to play with colour, or wants to try playing with colour but does have hooded eyes, I will kind of give two other looks. I won't necessarily talk through them like I will this first look, but I will show that. Like I said, for this look that I'm going to talk through, I'm going to use neutral shades. I'm going to keep it all matte, but the highlighting shade, you could use shimmer. It's just to add it's basically a lighter tone you want to add in comparison to the crease area. So yeah, I'm going to use this palette. You can use whatever palette you have. So I'm going to start with, so I don't have hooded eyes, but I do have slightly drooped eyes, whereas there is a little bit of the upper bit covering the lid slightly. So like I said, you want to kind of create a crease for yourself, so almost a new crease. So you'll see kind of how much space you've got left, or where a crease should be. If you look forward, you'll see which bits are visible and which bits aren't. So I'm just going to take, let me take this brown shade here. So obviously if I look this way, I can see my crease. So for me, I'm going to pop in here to create the shadow. Now what you want to do if you've got hooded eyes is you want to bring it further up above the area where your crease would have been if the kind of top bit wasn't folded over. So you want to go well above that area to create shadow and create depth to that top bit of the eye. Now I like to go quite up to the brow bone because I don't have much space in between where my lash line and the brow is. So it depends how much space you have, it depends how high you want to go up. But like I said, this will kind of help create the illusion that this section is more sunken in and kind of looks less hooded in a way. It's just adding some shadow. I don't know if you get it on the lid section because we'll sort that out earlier, but you don't want to try not to focus it too much onto that. So I'm just going to go ahead and blend that out. Now my housemate Emma does not have hooded eyes, so I couldn't demonstrate on her. But if I do, I'm not sure how comfortable some of my friends are to be on camera. So I will try at some point maybe getting my mum involved and I can do a look on her, but for now I'll have to kind of just demonstrate on me, even though I don't have particularly hooded eyes, but you'll kind of understand what I mean. So for me, this is kind of where I bring the transition shade up, but for someone with hooded eyes, this would be where you'll kind of create your crease. So you want to go further up than you think you would want to go. If you have got hooded eyes, maybe if you get the mirror and look down, you might be able to lift your eyebrows. You'll be able to see, depending on how hooded your eyes are, where your crease is. And then you can kind of start working the shadow in that section and then bring it upwards. And once you start bringing it upwards, then that's when you want to kind of look more forward, because you'll see how much is being shown or how much is visible. And you can work out how much you need to kind of bring it up in order for the kind of shadow to be visible and for kind of the depth to be added. And the other thing is, you don't have to go, I've picked a red, not a really dark brown, but a kind of medium brown. You could go much lighter. The key is to create that contrast from the lid to the crease area. So you could go with the lighter brown for sure. You could do it with black. Like I said, you could do it with any colours, and I will do, for people who kind of want to do the more colourful looks, I'm going to give kind of a one colour look to demonstrate it, and I'm going to show you kind of multiple colours and show how you can still create that look. So even with like doing more than one colour, where it's like you add yellows, oranges, pinks, purples, whatever to the eye, if you like that kind of vibrant look, as long as whichever of the shade you're picking is the deepest, that's where you want to put here. So typically if I was doing, say, yellow, orange, purple eye, typically depending on the tone of the purple, that would be the darkest shade, so that'd be the shade I want to add here. Then you could bring like the oranges and yellows up above it to create like more of a transition, and then you want to bring either like a very light purple or like a yellow, orange, something that's a lighter tone than that dark purple onto the lid, and it will give the exact same illusion. So it doesn't have to be just neutral shades, but I thought, I know a lot of people like the wearable looks, so that's why I'm demonstrating fully with neutral shades, and I will just throw in two kind of more slightly colourful looks to show kind of how it can work with that as well. Okay, so I've just used that one colour at the moment all over kind of that top section. I am just going to go in, just because I like to add a bit of warmth, with this kind of orangey tone here on a really fluffy brush. Now I'm just going to keep this kind of above where the brown is. So obviously the dark bit needs to stay down like where your crease, or where you're creating your crease, but you can bring lighter colours above that for sure to kind of blend out into the brow bone. And for example, I might go in with a little bit of this matte off-white shade, again to further blend out and also highlight the brow bone. So you can still do stuff like that, it's just kind of making sure you've created that shadow in that crease section. And like I said, because I haven't got much space, I like to bring shadows right up to the brow bone. You don't have to do that. As long as you can see how visible it is, you'll know how high up you want to bring it. Okay, and then I'm going to take, now like I said, you can use shimmer, you can use just a matte shade, as long as it's lighter tones. So I'm just going to take a mix of that off-white and this creamy shade. They're both matte. I'm just going to go for a matte look for this one. It's kind of like a more everyday type feeling. And this is going to go all over the lid. So this is going to bring the attention to that lid and kind of hopefully emphasise it to make it look like you've got more lid space than maybe you have. And just, if you do have hooded eyes, it will just kind of bring it forward ever so slightly. Bring attention to that area. Okay, so this is a very kind of classic way of correcting hooded eyes. And obviously, like I said, I wanted to purposely use hooded tones, neutral tones. You could bring some of, depending on how much is visible, if you wanted to, you could bring some of the darkness onto this section on the outer corner to kind of create more of a cat eye look. But this is typically a great way of kind of helping makeup stand out on hooded eyes, using the dark shades to create the shadows or create a crease if there isn't a crease visible, and then just using like the highlighting lighter shades just to bring that lid forward and just emphasize the lid so it looks like you've got more lid space. Okay, so I hope this is a very quick video. This is kind of like just some tips that I've kind of learned over the past that helps hooded eyes. So like I said, I'm going to insert two quick looks using colourful eyeshadows to show you that it is possible to do more colourful looks as well. A really nice way of doing it, like I said, I've used neutral tones to demonstrate because I think everyone likes the neutral tones and everyone likes everyday wearable looks. And again, you can kind of play around with this, but this is kind of the basics of it. And like I said, so yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you found it helpful as well. I was actually able to teach something. I'm not sure how good I am at teaching. But yeah, so that's this video complete. I will then leave you with the two colourful looks. I'm not necessarily going to talk through them like I said, but you'll see me applying them in a very similar way of doing this and kind of creating colourful looks. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed. Leave any requests for future videos down below and I'll see you in my next video. Thanks for watching.